Alright, so I messed up, and I took my sleep medicine. It's currently 4:24 a.m. Need to record a video or I can't upload tomorrow. So I don't want to break the streak of however many days that I've been consistent in uploading, because if I miss one, I'm gonna feel bad about missing that, and then not feel bad about missing 20 more. So, let me pick a short one before my, stuff kicks in. Let's do Thy Flesh Consumed. Let's react to Thy Flesh Consumed. I haven't seen that one in a while. It's a short, it's 11 minutes, it's a short one. Give me just 1 second to respond to this Discord message real quick. Okay. Okay.
Hello there.
Shut up. I got fucking flashbanged by the webpage for a second. Okay, set this to Thy Flesh Consumed. Turn it on. Alright. I don't plan on playing anything, like any of the Doom IWADs aside from, like, TNT and Plutonia on the channel again, like, as a normal playthrough. Because I sped ran them. So, like, I've played them to death. I don't want to play them again. And also, as far as, like, judging those levels go, I've played them for decades. I've played them, I've sped ran them, so I can't possibly be fair to them in any conceivable way at all whatsoever. Trying to another Discord message. So I can't be fair to them, so I'm not going to bother trying to say if one's better than the other or whatever, or dispute most grades. But yeah, let's just start. Let's start plowing through the official IWAD Beans of Doom. Mount Payne's giving me consent. You haven't seen the original, go watch that first, come back. You know the deal. Alright, let's get it going, brothers and sisters.
Hello there. I'm Mount Payne 27, and this is Dean of Doom, the show.
When did this come out? October 21st, day after my brother's birthday. Also, this was about 2 weeks after Ground Zero. Mount Payne knows what that means.
Grades to classic and contemporary Doom wads. Why? Because ranking things is fun.
Yeah, it is, brother.
Today's episode will be dedicated to Thy Flesh Consumed.
Ooh, that deep breath, though? That breath?
Because ranking things is fun. Today's episode will be dedicated to Thy Flesh Consumed, a fourth 9-level episode.
I don't know why I decided to mention that, I'm sorry.
Doom in 1995. This is the final set of classic Doom levels that id Software ever worked on, with old hands John Romero, American McGee, and Sean Green each contributing 2 maps, rounded out with submissions from Tim Willits, who went on to work for id, and John Anderson, aka Dr. Sleep. This episode was shoehorned in as a prequel to Doom 2, even by id standards. The
you know, now that I think about it, honestly, hearing that description of this, that it was the last set of maps that the id guys worked on, is, like, pretty sentimental, actually. This is the last thing they did before they split up. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know. I don't think it's canon. I don't care what they say, but I think it's pretty cool.
This one is very lazy, and can be thought of as a sort of DLC,
Wait, what?
too. Even by id standards, the story element of this one is very lazy, and can be thought of as a sort of DLC, except back then it came for free if you bought the original game. Hope the Ancient Gods Part 1 is worth it, folks. Anyway, I wanted to know...
I'm not laughing at the joke, I'm laughing at the fucking screen spin. Oh my god. That's so fucking funny, dude. That's my one weakness. Is, like, the screen spinning. In like, POV, you are Sean Green. I was in a voice chat with him when he conceived the idea for that video. And the funniest part to me of the video was the screen spin at the end. Oh my god. Anyway.
Knock this one out because it's the last big classic Doom release that I haven't covered on this channel, and seeing as I don't have the willpower to cover the master levels at the moment, it'll probably be the last commercial Doom release I cover for quite some time. let's get to it. Before we dive in,
do
here's
it.
how the show works. We'll give each level on the wand
Pray
2
tell,
grades,
how does it
one
work?
for quality and one for difficulty. We grade quality from A to F, and difficulty from X to E. X for extreme, E for easy, and A through D.
Why is that drink warm?
Grade A level is fun, memorable,
Oh my
visually
god,
distinctive,
it feels like I just
creative,
consumed
and
some
fair
flesh.
Lower grades indicate the level lacks some or all of these qualities.
I wasn't gonna joke
Bear in
either,
mind
like
that
my
I'm just an
drink's
average
actually
player,
warm.
and these reviews reflect only my opinions, so our definitions of difficulty and great map design will surely differ. Disagreeing is part of the fun, after all. At the end of the day, this show is really about spreading the joy of Doom, so let's
Is this
do
before... Oops.
For those new to the show, here are the rules.
Is this before or after you got your new mic? I think this was before.
1. We play on ultraviolence. 2. We play each level from a pistol start. 3. In order to review the WAD, I must have played it at least twice. 4. Saves are allowed but discouraged. And 5. I go for 100% kills in all levels, making exceptions in cases where it's just not worth it. I play on Z-Doom with compatibility settings on strict.
Hell yeah.
Now, to the WAD. E4M1. Hell Beneath.
Oops.
It's illegal in my state to write a review about Hell Beneath without including the following disclaimer. This map only has 9 health bonuses and no power-ups or recovery items except for 1 green armor. Okay. Now that that's done, Hell Beneath is...
I forgot about that bit. Dude, that's... that's legitimately, like... That's a very funny joke, actually. That's so funny. I wonder what that piece of paper actually said. Probably nothing. He probably just rattled a piece of paper. That's like... That's so funny. Anyway.
More survival horror than Rip and Tear. It's another example of American McGee's minimalist style. His map is about as spacious as a box of saltine crackers and covered in slime, which you'll have to take a dip in to get this rocket launcher. It's
Slimy crackers. My people!
Everything in a level without it. Shotgunners have never seemed more threatening. Every time you get clipped by one, you can kiss that health goodbye for good. The teleporter traps at the beginning and in the Red Key building are almost guaranteed to chip away at your health, and this map's 5 barons will gulp down the majority of your ammo, including all your rockets. McGee springs 4 of them at once on you when you activate this torch secret, which famously
Trying to UV max this map as a fucking New York whore.
displays the 9-inch nails logo. I didn't get any footage of it because I was too busy running away like a bit. Hell Beneath is an easy map to...
I remember the first time I watched this, that bit floored me. Also, I'm willing to bet that was recorded, that wasn't 2 separate voice lines. I think from the way he transitioned from B to Hell Beneath, it sounds like he said it in one continuous motion instead of, like, just combining 2 voice lines together.
to hate, but you know what? I didn't get any footage of it because I was too busy running away like a bit. Hell Beneath is an easy map to hate, but
You hear that slight pause for him to transition into hell? I don't know why I'm analyzing the way he speaks, but anyway.
I admire it because it plays as evil as it feels. That's what Doom is all about, isn't it? Grade B.
It's a harsh
Difficulty
opener. It's a good one, though.
E4M2. Perfect Hatred. The story goes that John Romero started working on this map at midnight and finished at 6 a.m., but frankly I find that a little hard to believe because Perfect Hatred is about as good a map as Romero ever made, at least from a gameplay perspective. It's very intense and demands boldness and creativity.
If I remember right, I think his idea was he wanted to see, like... I think he said he wanted to see how long it would take him, or how quickly he could make a map of production quality. And he started at midnight and just so happened to finish at 6 a.m. I think is how that went. I don't know. I just work here.
From the player if they want to succeed. This opening with the slowly converging cacodemons is a pressure cooker, and very likely to do you in if you don't find this rad-suited supercharge. I like to shoot the barons through this window so they don't bother me later. Oh yeah, there are a dozen barons in this map, by the way. Grab this invaluable secret cache, fail the Stefan Winterfeld jump, then go back and snag the...
I forgot. let me see that again.
Grab this invaluable secret cache, fail the Stefan Winterfeld jump.
Okay, obnoxiously long footnote from Dookie. It's possible to bypass any use of the keys by strafe running to the right of the blue pillar from the room with the mega armor. This trick was first made by Stefan Winterfeld and therefore now commonly said as Stefan Winterfeld jump. However, for most people, it may take at least 2 tries. If you're reading this, thanks for caring about this half-hearted joke's context enough to rewind and pause. It's totally unimportant to the video, but I'm curious if somebody will be able to tell me whether this is just a cheeky edit to the wiki or a term people actually use. So, you've probably been told this a million times. I know you're watching this. I hope you're watching this. Speedrunner here. Never heard it called that before this video. Didn't even know who that was. I just call it the... I don't even know what I call it. I think I just call it the E4M2 jump. Like, it's the only jump in E4M2, so everyone knows what you're talking about when you call it that. Literally never heard that term before. But anyway. Also, I mentioned I'm a speedrunner, so we're doing this now.
Grab this invaluable secret cache, fail the Stefan Winterfeld.
So your angle was very off. There's a setup you can semi-consistently do if you back up into, like, the corner, the back left corner, like you're facing the wall where you bump to get the BFG, and you can SR50 to the right instead of trying to go in from the left right there. I think you could still do it from the left. I think it's just trickier because as soon as you land, you need to turn or you're going to walk off the stairs. And you're trying to go fast and you're being chased by cacos, so I think it's a time loss in general if you try to do it from the left. It's way riskier if you try to do it from the left. I don't know why I'm explaining this. Yeah, let's play.
Then go back and snag the plasma gun. Don't be afraid to go ham with it. This map gives you a ton of cells. Perfect Hatred limits your ability to run around more than your typical Doom 1 level, and while Romero toyed around with this in some of his Doom 2 maps, Thy Flesh Consumed seems to be where he fell in love with the concept. Very, very in love. The only part of Perfect Hatred I'm not wild about is his boring cave full of specters, cacos, and barons. I guess I can forgive it for being the worst room in a map that took 6 hours to make, but it's not like he only had 6 hours. When you've got the...
There it is again. Anything with that kind of, like, image manipulation is my fucking weakness, dude. It's so funny. Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. He did not have... Well, I don't think he limited himself to 6 hours either, like I said, but it doesn't matter. It's semantics at that point.
Blue key, trigger this caco door, run back to the start.
Dude, this Cyber Demon used to terrify me because when I first played this in Ultraviolence, I was dumb and bad and stupid. And I thought this episode was, like, impossible in Ultraviolence when I first did it.
Find the teleporter that opened up, which lets you nuke the Cyber Demon and gives you a BFG, at which point the level is over. Perfect Hatred is a ripping good time, probably the level I come back to most in Thy Flesh Consumed. Grade, A-. Difficulty, B-. E4M9, Fear, not to be confused with Map 26.
So, when I first played Doom on the Xbox Live Arcade, that was my first time playing Classic Doom. I didn't know about the concept of secret maps. So, I thought this was the last level. And I didn't know that Nightmare was different from Ultraviolence, so I thought Nightmare was just the hardest difficulty, which it is, but I mean, like, I thought it was, like, not bullshit. So I remember playing co-op with, like, my brother or something, and we were playing this map on Nightmare, which it force pistol starts you. Obviously on whatever map you pick. And we thought this was just, like, impossible. We thought this was just, like, an impossible fucking level. On Nightmare, it's probably, like, really hard, but...
From Scythe, which actually deserves its title, E4M9 is a tan, overly symmetrical dud that does nothing to justify its secret status. This opening fight is fine, but after that the level goes nowhere. I don't understand why this big arena is so empty, and the Baron placement in this brown room is just awful. He can only really attack you from one side, so he's not even a threat. I'm pretty ashamed that I almost let this level kill me. Survive.
Oh, dude, the Promised Land! Oh, you gotta save, right?
It is almost
you gotta save!
The less said about this one, the better. Grade D, difficulty D-. E4M3, Sever the Wicked. Sever the Wicked is some high-intensity stuff from Sean Green. Right from the start, you'll be thrown into the deep end of the pool, so hit this...
Or not, because you can beat the level in 6 seconds. Okay, I think 6 is actually very much undershooting it, but you can beat the level really fast. Really, really fast. Because you can... So there's 2 ways to do this. You can either SR50... or even 40, maybe, I'm not sure. Straight where the Lost Soul is. Like, where on the... You can't see my mouse. On the, Oh, now you can. On the invulnerability platform right here. You can, like, SR50 over there. But there is a deaf imp underneath you. I think he's deaf. So you can't make it normally because he's blocking the way. Because the people who made this are cocksuckers. So the faster way to do it is to use a Lost Soul that's, like, down here and rocket boost off of him through there. It's exceedingly difficult, but on Unity you can use quick saves, and that is why I speedrun Unity.
Switch to raise a bridge to the invulnerability, find the chain gun, and start blazing your way through this hell base. The shotgunners are the biggest threat here. They'll whittle down your health if left unattended. There are 7 more barons. Yeah,
I'm about certain that Imp is deaf down there, because otherwise you would just fire a shot immediately, and then you would just be able to consistently jump over.
this map, but you'll get your hands on a rocket launcher relatively early on and you'll be inundated with ammo for it. Sever the Wicked isn't the prettiest map in the world. It goes a little heavy on the wood textures, and the layout is a bit rudimentary, but the quality of the action makes up for its shortcomings. Footnote, this map is spectacularly incompetent at tagging secrets. This flight of stairs counts as 19 distinct secrets because somebody got a little overzealous while copy-pasting.
Small indie company.
And these torches are marked as secrets, but as of this video's release date, nobody has devised a way to tag them. Doesn't really factor into the final grade, but it's worth mentioning. Grade
It's a fun fact.
Difficulty C. E4M4. Unruly Evil. I'm not sure what happened here. Despite sharing hell beneath's compact design and ominous atmosphere, Unruly Evil is about as lethal as a pop gun, and consequently not much fun. These specters...
Okay. Neuro pulls out the Google machine again. Hold on, I gotta get my phone. Why am I so stupid? Pop gun. Why am I so dumb? Bruh, that looks like that hurts! What? Wait. A pop gun is a toy gun that was made by American inventor Edward Lewis. Shout out to Edward Lewis. And uses air pressure to fire a small tethered or untethered projectile, such as cork or foam, out of a barrel, most often via piston action, though sometimes via spring pressure. That sounds like that hurts! I mean, I guess relatively speaking, compared to an imp scratching you or a pinky biting you, fair, but I don't know. Maybe I'm a bitch. I guess that's also possible.
The neck, and ammo is a little scarce all the way through, but a cursory glance at these torches will lead you to a berserk and a rocket launcher, and if you investigate this dark room with the lava, you'll have yourself a supercharge and an invulnerability. Say, American, where was all this when we needed it? With a red key in hand, there's only one more Mickey Mouse room to clear out before the curtain. Definitely the easiest and most forgettable map in this episode. Grade C-, difficulty D-. E4M5, They Will Repent. Mostly harmless. This
It's the that got me. Okay, hold on a minute. Wait, I have a question, actually.
E4M5, They Will Repent. Mostly harmless.
There's a reference here with mostly harmless and a picture of Earth. That reference goes over my head, though. I'm gonna need a, that's an r/whoosh moment. I don't get the funny, but...
This fairly obvious homage to Episode 3's Limbo is
I didn't get the funny, but it's two things completely random to me that still made it funny.
Less impenetrable than its inspiration, though I don't find one especially more fun to play than the other. Map author Tim Willits does solid work keeping his visuals consistent, but the combat here is even weaker than in the secret level.
What the fuck is... Man, sorry. Let me reword that, because that sounds like I'm like... What I was going to say was, what the fuck is wrong with me when I'm on sleep medicine? Mount Payne, I will give you $5 real-life dollars if you at some point in the first quarter of Season 3 can find a use of the word impregnable. Because you said impenetrable, so I'm like, how funny would it be if you just said impregnable instead of impenetrable? If you can use the word impregnable, I'll give you $5.
Less impenetrable than its inspiration, though I don't find one especially more fun to play than the other. Map author Tim Willits...
And that made me laugh really hard for some reason.
Visuals consistent, but the combat here is even weaker than in the secret level. Compared to the rock and roll of the Romero and Green maps we've seen, They Will Repent is elevator music. The encounters bleed together to such an extent that I never feel challenged. This cacodeme emplacement is totally pointless, and this lost soul...
I would argue not well, yes and no. I would argue it's meant to be like, oh, a caco, I need to run away. I don't know who would think that, but...
Why would you hide a lost soul here?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Doomwiki.org credits Teresa Chazar, Willits' sister, with creating the original layout, so I guess her work is the only part of this map I actually kind of like. Maybe it should have hired her instead.
Alrighty. Get fucked.
This map isn't incompetent, but it's really, really average, and that's almost worse. Grade D+, difficulty D-.
What was it he said during the master levels? There's an unfortunate gray area for maps that are not good enough to be fun nor bad enough to be funny. And I agree. It's like a downward hill as far as like fun factor relative to good. Like a really good map is fun, but a really bad map is also fun to an extent. Right.
E4 M6. Against thee wickedly. Prepare
Fun in the sense that, like, it's bad so you get a laugh out of it.
thyself. If you thought perfect hatred was precarious or nasty, welcome to Against thee wickedly.
I thought this map was, like, ridiculously hard. Like, when I played it on Ultraviolence, like, oh my god, dude, I got fucking trashed. I had to pot shot the Cyber Demon from that side hallway for like 10 minutes because I was too scared to go anywhere else.
Apparently, Romero decided he was done being Mr. Nice Guy in 1995. Between this and E4M2, you'd think he was
lucky.
angry at his player base or something. Most of the action in Against
Wait,
thee
who made this map?
between this and E4M2, wickedly.
Oh,
Apparently,
this is
he was
Romero,
player
okay.
base or something. Most of the action in Against thee wickedly takes place in a hell fortress half sunken into molten rock. This is probably the best and most hostile use of environmental hazards you'll find in retail Doom, and you should expect to spend half the level
Best is still terrible, though. I don't really like damaging floor.
holding your breath, hoping your rad suit isn't about to run out. Romero's secrets aren't exploitable so much as necessary in this map, this hidden plasma gun especially. It's the kind of secret you're not even happy to find because it just makes you think of how many times you suffer through the level without it. Picking up the red key causes a cyber demon to appear at the exit, and killing him is non-negotiable, as the exit is hard-coded to stay closed until he dies. Without this tucked away invulnerability, which you'll have to step lively to use properly, taking on the cyber demon in his cubbyhole is suicide. I hated this level for a long time. You could even say I hated it with perfect hatred, but bearing grudges hurts no one but yourself. With a bit of distance and perspective, I can appreciate Against thee wickedly
There's a few times you can definitely hold some grudges. Do not get me wrong, brother.
for its creativity and superior architecture, and the demands it made on the player in terms of resource conservation and route planning were ahead of its time. Congrats, John. You're a genius and an ass. Grade B+. Difficulty B.
Dude, this is why you gotta rewatch these episodes multiple times, because even just now I noticed something I did not see before. The stretch he did on... I just scratched my lip. So hard. Owie. The stretch on Doom Guy's mouth. I just noticed that when he calls him an ass.
Congrats, John. You're a genius and an ass. Grade B+. Difficulty B. E4M7. And hell followed. I can never remember the title of this level. This is the lone map by Dr. Sleep in TFC, and he's got a memorable name, so this is the Dr. Sleep map to me. This is another technically fine but functionally boring map, though it's not as much of a snore as Willits' levels. It goes a little heavy on the linear hallways and right angles for my liking, but the lighting isn't bad for its time, and the marble sections look nice. Compared to the submissions from id's original Gangsters, this map is toothless.
I just hurt my foot. Dude, I was like, I had like my foot propped up on my desk, and I was like leaning forward, and it just slid off, and I hit my... Anyway, yeah, when I played Ultimate Doom a few times on Xbox, obviously I played on lower difficulties, so there was the bit with the Cyber Demon on Ultraviolence, and I was like, oh, it's just a Baron. Alright, cool, whatever. Then I got here on Ultraviolence after beating Against thee wickedly for the first time, and it was a Cyber Demon, and I was just like, what the fuck? It's a Cyber Demon? Are you kidding me? I had the invuln anyway, so it's not like it mattered, but...
Dr. Sleep overloads you with rockets and cells, gives you a superfluous BFG, and this invulnerability pretty much defeats the purpose of the Cyber Demon encounter. At least the outdoor area is pretty fun to tee off on.
That's a golf reference. I got that one.
The Dr. Sleep map has its moments, but it's a little formulaic and coddles the player too much to earn my respect. I guess I'm just jaded. Grade
Jade's a good color. It's a deep green. It's a deep green, right?
Or M8, Unto the Cruel. Easily the best boss level in Ultimate Doom by virtue of the fact that it's an actual level.
Okay, now I gotta Google this because I don't want to be wrong. Jade. No, not Jaden Smith. Yeah, that's a deep green. That's a good green. That's a solid green.
Unto the Cruel can look daunting to a first-time player, but it's a piece of cake if you know where to look for help. Interacting with this hanging corpse at the start grants you a fully loaded chain gun, which you can use to decimate this opening hit scanner room. This stone garden full of ammo and power-ups isn't a secret, but it sure seems like it should be. And if you run right past the spider mastermind and hump the wall,
it's not even really a secret because it's just kind of out in the open.
You'll find a BFG, which makes this final room a complete joke. I don't appreciate having to jump into super lava to kill these pinkies and specters, and I'm pretty sure I never got 100% kills in this level until recently because of these Baron closets.
Fun fact, you only need one key to exit this map. You can do a rocket boost from that side. You have to get the longer key, unfortunately, the yellow key over here. But yeah, there's a couple different ways you can just boost yourself off of the pillar over to the other side. It's the yellow key that raises the stairs. Without that, you can't get up.
To say, though, Sean Green is underrated. His TFC levels are way more
Sean Green related to Seth Green?
fun to play than McGee's, more memorable than Willett's, and less exasperating than Romero's. His visual style is utilitarian at best, but I think he held his own against the big boys. Grade, B-.
Hell yeah.
difficulty, D.
I love this ending fight. It's the nostalgia, man.
So,
Utilitarian
By
definition.
Flesh Consumed is a mixed bag, to put it lightly. It's pretty much exactly what you'd expect to get out of high-profile Doom hobbyists, who back then were more akin to hackers than designers,
Yeah.
and listless id veterans collaborating on an expansion for an outdated version of their own game. Except as a challenge for people who mop the floor with the original Doom 1 episodes, Thy Flesh Consumed doesn't do much to justify its existence as a commercial product, especially since modders were contemporaneously releasing levels approaching this quality for free. That said, more Doom is never unwelcome, and this episode's highs easily outshine all but the best maps in E1, E2, and Doom 2. My final grade is a C+, most comparable to the Shores of Hell for its unevenness and fleeting genius, but never scraping the lows of Inferno. Difficulty-wise, this is a hike from its previous releases. I'll give it a D+.
It's
because
harsh.
2 parts easy cheese to 1 part wake-up call, making it proportionally tougher than Doom 2, but
Easy cheese. What is the easiest cheese? What do you think's the easiest cheese? I want to see some debates in the comments. What is the easiest cheese?
that's not saying much. Now for my D.
We talking like Gouda, like provolone? Provolone's pretty good. Provolone's okay.
List.
Tastes no different from regular cheese, but
Valedictorian, E4M2, Perfect Hatred. Salutatorian, E4M6, Against Thee Wickedly. Class President, also E4M6, Against Thee Wickedly. And the dunce cap goes to E4M9, The Absence of Fear. Thank you very much for watching.
You're
Please
welcome.
Feel free to share your thoughts on the
Hell yeah, brother.
I'd love to hear what you think, and I'll heart your comments to let you know I've read them. This is Mount Pain 27, and I'll see you in the next very spooky episode of Dean of Doom.
Oh, Dex was going down. I haven't seen Going Down in a while. I don't want to watch Going Down until I play it, though. So that's going to be like a few years off. Because I'm going through the cackle words at a snail's pace now. I was going so fast before, but now I'm slowed down because I'm trying to take it easy. Yeah, I was definitely a lot less happy when this came out, but, hell yeah, dude. Awesome stuff. E4, M4 is mostly harmless. Without that torch secret, though, hoo boy, it's... Oh, yeah, this is when I was doing the secretless run, and, it was E4, M5. I remember this. Yeah, I mean... I stand by it that E4 M4 is difficult without the torch secret. Without any secrets, actually. I still stand by that. Don't have the power to cover the master levels. Oh, he didn't. Don't worry. They caught up real fucking quick, dude. Alright, well, that's Thy Flesh Consumed. Get consumed. Alright. Peace, boys.